What's going on? I'm back. I'm here, and I got another story today. And when I was trying to think of what to talk about, I was thinking of my time that I spent a couple years ago in Colorado. I spent about a month there, and one of these stories came to mind, and it was the first time that I ever took dabs. And it wasn't like any sort of normal experience, and I'm kind of starting to remember or forget the details of this one. So I figured I'd tell it right now before it slips my mind a bit more, but this story takes place, like I said, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago at this point. It occurred in like October of 2022. So at that time, I was in Colorado, that's where I lived, and I lived in a really small town. And one of my friends that I hung out with, like, consistently while I was there, like almost every week, we would skip school and I would go to his house at least once or twice per week. And surprisingly got away with it almost every time. um, was my friend who I actually, about a year ago, referred to in a story time as Ben. So for now, I'm just gonna stick with that name. It doesn't really matter. Um, anyway, Ben, if you're watching this, you know who you are. Your name's not actually Ben. Um, but yeah, on this day, I originally, when I was thinking of this, I thought it was one of the days that we skipped. But thinking harder, I believe on this day I actually went to school. But I either left at lunch or I left at the end of the day because I remember telling my mom that I had detention, and I'm pretty sure that was true. I had detention that day, and I asked my teacher to reschedule it, and he agreed to. I was really polite to him. I asked him to reschedule my detention for a different day. I made up some bullshit excuse about me having like some type of thing to attend to when I got home, and it was urgent. I don't remember what I said, but I basically just lied to him. This old guy, and he's usually pretty mean, but on this day he decided to just like let it slide. And he's like, "All right, you can make it up tomorrow." Now he agreed to let me make it up tomorrow, but I didn't tell my mom that, and I just told my mom that I had two detentions. And on that day, instead of going to the detention, what I did is I left, and I believe I left a little bit early from school, if I'm not mistaken, and I went to my friend Ben's house. And when I got there, it was him, and I think there might have been one other friend with us. I believe it was my friend that I referred to in the other story time as Mary, but she might not have been there on this day. I really don't remember. But she's not really important to the story in this specific instance. Anyway, I show up on this day to his house, and I walk in, and we're just chilling. We're just playing like Apex or whatever. We're listening to music, smoking. Like I think he had like a little bit of weed we smoked out of like a his bong, but we didn't really have like a whole lot. Anyway, randomly when we're in the middle of hanging out, his dad walks in, and his dad was also a stoner. His dad would, smoke with us and everything, which was like he's not really a great influence, but he's a great guy. And, I love that guy. I miss that guy. And he would always be talking about like conspiracy theories and stuff. He was a fun guy. Anyway, he walks in and he's with these two guys, and they're wearing like, Carhartt and stuff like that. And they were obviously like work guys. Like they obviously did like some type of like construction or something. They had the whole boots and everything. You could tell that they were like some type of like carpenter or something, and that made sense because what my friend told me is that they were guys that worked with his dad because his dad runs like a carpet installation business. Anyway, these guys, there were two of them, and one of them, he looked to be like maybe like 40 pushing 50. I'd say maybe younger. I can't really tell. He was definitely weathered. And the other guy looked to be like mid 20s. He was a lot younger looking, but obviously was like a worker too, you could tell. And they were just chilling there drinking beers. And I got introduced to them. I don't actually remember what their names were. Um, they were some pretty basic names. Um, but these guys, they're just drinking. And one of them brings out this little puck of wax. And I was like, what's that? And like his dad. And I knew what dad was, but I'd never taken one. So I just like, everyone actually just started taking them because my buddy, he had like a little nectar collector thing. and these other guys they had a blowtorch. So, you know, they just get to fucking straight to it, you know? They just take the blowtorch and they heat the shit up and it was like red hot. And they take like their little dab spoon and you know they each take theirs. They tell me how to do it. They just say, you know, breathe in really hard and just rub it all over like this little dab spoon. They didn't make me like corner it or anything like other people do. They just got me my dab and just let me take it. And it got hot as fuck and you know, I put the thing to my lips and I breathe in and at first I really don't feel anything. And I'm like kind of confused as to why I don't feel anything at all, like going into my body. Like I don't feel anything. And then, you know, I take it away and I get like this harsh, like burning sensation. And I breathe out and this fat ass fucking cloud of like just dab of smoke just billows out of my fucking lungs. And, you know, I get straight to having a coughing fit. And bro, I'm like fucking breaking down. Like I pass the nectar collector back and I just start fucking coughing my lungs out and I just like head straight to the bathroom that was in my homie's room and I just chill in there and just drink sink water for like 5 minutes. I come out still coughing, you know, like the first ever like dab cough, and it was a fat ass dab, you know, it was insane. And you know, I get up and I go to his kitchen, and he comes with me and he gets me like a fucking Sprite and like a cold water, and you know that really did the trick. I fucking took it back to the room, chilled out with like his pet lizard and the two old ass guys. And the 40-year-old looking guy, he's the one that gave me the dab. He instructed me on how to do it and everything. And I took it and I was still coughing. Like it was like for like 10 or 15 minutes after I just kept coughing. And you know, when that eventually calmed down, I came to realize that I was obviously high as fuck. But you know, my time was coming to an end. And at the time, I don't remember exactly how I was supposed to get home, but I know that I had to leave and walk home. And so I chill there for a little bit, you know, just relaxing with the fucking pet. He had like a bearded dragon, and this is kind of fucked now that think back on it, but he used to like take bong rips and blow them into his like enclosure. And I don't know if animals are technically supposed to be able to like get high, but this one definitely did. Um, so he used to do that, and the fucking turtle, he would just like chill there. Not the turtle, you know, whatever it was. And so, you know, I chilled there, and the first dab gave me the munchies so fucking hard, bro. Like I immediately had to hit up the kitchen again just to go back and get some fucking. He had these Star Crunch, bro. Star Crunch was one of the first ever like snacks I ate, like while high after taking some fucking bong rips, and dude, that shit was fucking insane on weed. Like everything's good when you're high, but like especially the Star Crunch when I was like first getting back into smoking, it had me, bro. It had me so happy that he had that shit. So, you know, I grabbed those and I grabbed some like Doritos and all that shit, and I was just snacking on them until eventually my mom texts me and asks me when I get out of my detention, and I tell her, well, she says like, "Oh, I'm coming to pick you up right now," and I start freaking out. Okay, because I'm like a mile and a half away from the school. I'm not even at detention, and she's in a car, so she's gonna be much faster. So I tell her, "Oh, don't come yet. Like we have like another 30 minutes or some shit." I made up some stupid lie, and she sent my stepdad to go get me. So I actually eventually I had to leave the house, right? And everyone wished me some good luck. Um, I asked if my friend wanted to walk home with me. He said no, because obviously, why the fuck would he want to? It was cold, and he had no reason to. So I walk home, and surprisingly, I'm actually able to pass off as sober really well at this point, which was shocking. I don't know how I got away with it, but dabs don't really smell that bad either. So the fact that we weren't smoking that much flower and mainly dabs helped. And my eyes really don't get that red usually, unless I'm really fucked. So, you know, I head on my fucking journey back home, freeze my ass off, and I make it to the school, and my stepdad's waiting there for me, and he picks me up, and he takes me home. And, you know, I fucking walk in my door, and I'm sketched the fuck out, because I always get paranoid when I'm high, and I, like, try to avoid eye contact. It takes me, like, 10 minutes to untie my shoes, because I can't figure out how to do it, because I'm fucking gone. But eventually I get it done. I rip them bitches off, go downstairs, and I don't really remember what I did for the rest of the day. I think I just like chilled and watched YouTube or like did some fucking chores or whatever I did. But hey, it was an enjoyable time, and I actually didn't take dabs for a whole like long ass time up until a couple of months ago. A couple of months ago, I took my first or my second ever dabs, and that was a great time. Anyway, I took a lot more after that. I've been getting more into it, and it's a good time. It's just it's not really my thing particularly, but it's enjoyable. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one because I just wanted to talk about, another one of these experiences, and I was really trying to think back. I don't really have the best memory when it comes to things that far back, probably because of all the carts I've fried my brain with. Anyway, if you want more like that, I got plenty more in the vault. I just kind of have to think about it. Maybe stop smoking so much and I'll actually be able to remember. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for all the support, on everything I've dropped so far. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, enjoy the video. Bye, guys.
I was broke, pocket full of lead.